The big story this Thursday night at 6:30. An Arizona state agency facing its biggest demand in history continues to have issues serving Arizonans.
For 2.5 years, 12 News exposed problems at Arizona's Department of Economic Security. Problems that prevented an unknown number of Arizonans from getting the help they need. Good evening, I'm Tram Mai.
I'm Jonathan McCall. Team 12's Colleen Sikora got a chance to talk with Arizonans still struggling as the agency's director has remained unwilling to answer questions.
It's a story of two realities. People who lost their jobs and are trying to get help, up against those who stole benefits through fraud, and an agency that couldn't always tell the difference. It's an agency meant to help people.
9,200 they're trying to get out of me.
That, as of late,
It's kind of been a slap in the face, really.
is asking Arizonans for some of that help back.
And I got the statement of account saying that I owe them $14,000. Yeah, I was freaking out a little bit.
The Arizona Department of Economic Security, in charge of distributing billions in pandemic unemployment benefits.
Regardless of whether they were eligible or not, too many people are getting these bills saying, you have to pay us that unemployment insurance back. And the worst of it is, we could see it coming when it was happening 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
We have seen the demand just surge.
This is what happens when tens of thousands of people who work in a new economy all need a life preserver at one time from an agency that's not quite ready to handle them.
This ancient computer system they're working with that has never been tested for disaster relief.
What started as an overwhelmed and outdated computer system
We had to procure a new system, and we did that with record speed.
led to glitch.
Waited all day until 6 o'clock with anticipation. By 11 o'clock, I just went to bed.
After glitch.
I haven't received a penny.
And what DES says is billions paid out in fraud as Arizonans waited.
I just couldn't understand how you could close a card without investigating the fraud first.
The last time and only time DES Director Michael Weishart spoke with 12 News in July of 2020.
They see it as system glitches, and that's really unfortunate that we're not able to seamlessly pay all of the law-abiding individuals while also identifying all of the fraudulent claims.
That's the problem. That persisted into the spring of 2021.
It's not just me, it's thousands of people on these threads that are like, what do I do? What do I do?
While billions went to fraudsters, real Arizonans who qualified for help couldn't get it. Come summer 2021, the U.S. Department of Labor found Arizona did worse than 40 states on how quickly it passed out benefits. DES Director Weishart still not answering questions about the issues.
Any tax-funded agency needs to be transparent because it is our dollars they're spending.
By November 2021, the Arizona Auditor General found DES paid out more than $4 billion in fraudulent claims because it didn't put all critical anti-fraud measures in place when it was required to. Hundreds of fraud cases have resulted in criminal charges. DES says it has worked to recover more than $1 billion in fraudulent money paid.
It was just an example of just bad operation by DES.
The Arizona Ombudsman recommending in a report this year the legislature consider auditing DES.
It's something temporary that's starting to alleviate because it was a once-in-a-lifetime crisis.
But more problems are hurting real Arizonans. DES also overpaid more than $121 million in benefits to Arizonans and is trying to get some of that money back.
Is that the fault of myself or anybody else that qualified for the program? No, that is the director of DES's fault.
Still, 12 News not allowed to speak with Director Weishart about that, and Arizonans.
There's no question I'm going to rule in your favor here.
Left in some cases with the only option to try and appeal.
What is the point in trying to take their money from me when I wasn't making any money and I barely make any money now?
The Arizona Auditor General also finding another 108,000 Arizonans might have been overpaid by the department, but DES doesn't know because they're still looking back at claims, even though the federal unemployment payments ended more than a year ago, leaving Arizonans wondering if the help they got was actual help.
The agency is a disaster. We've known that since the program started.
Or headache.
Who I think responsible is the director because he's the one who's overseeing everything and he's the one who has to pretty much come down and answer for it.
So where's the director of DES? We don't know. We know that his salary is more than $200,000 a year. We've requested his calendar as well as his badge swipes in and out of state buildings, but those have yet to be provided by the department. And our multiple and repeated interview requests continue to be ignored. We'll keep asking. Colleen Sikora, 12 News.